welcome. It's Carnage. Today we're taking a look at Cobra Shadow Tracker. Don't go nowhere. Carnage checking in here with some new G.I. Joe classified goodness, and I've had a chance to take some photos with this guy, to pose this guy, and wanted to share my thoughts. Shadow Tracker obviously is inspired by the Predator character, as you can see reflected in the head sculpt quite a bit. This head sculpt is a good place to start. When I had seen the renders, you know, I thought, I'm going to pull this backpack off, attempt to do it without knocking him down. There we go. When I saw the renders initially, I thought his hair was kind of short. But as you can see, when you get him in hand, his hair is actually braided in the back, and it's very long. I think this was probably the easiest way to do that and accommodate any accessories, as well as posing. Mainly the backpack, which if the hair was just hanging straight, obviously it would cause a problem for that backpack. He has two different masks as well as an unmasked head. Now this is a clear greenish head, and it's meant to interact with the black face, and it does create a really neat effect. I'm guessing it's some sort of a supernatural byproduct of being exposed to the dark energon. I don't remember where I read that, but I know he connects into this dark energon story, this dark energon narrative that is happening in G.I. Joe Classified right now. So the head is a really neat look with the green face. It photographs really well, particularly if you get close to it. So with that, let's take a look at him without the mask. And I think I like this look the best of all three of the possible looks that we can have for Shadow Tracker. I really like this one. And the eyes are really neat. The way they're just beady little gold dots in there. I really like that. It really stands out against that skeleton face, and I know that there was a story about him, again, being damaged by the dark energon, so something happened to his skin and his face, and he's got some problems. But it doesn't create problems for him hunting down Joes. He is a silent weapons guy, and obviously he would be a deep forest or jungle tracker, I do believe. Let's go ahead and take a look at his other mask. And they just pop right on there, sort of like the Zartan masks. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, he is a Zartan repaint. There are certainly some new parts here, but it kind of reminds me of Dr. Mindbender, honestly. Because there are some great new parts here. I believe all of the, I know this is new. This is new. The necklace is new. Obviously the head is new. The masks are new. His belt is new. And as you can see here, there's a pelt, a fur that goes down and covers his rear end there, and that looks really cool. And there's a neat pattern on there that really stands out and photographs very well. What I do notice in photographing him is that he's a bit tough to pose. He's got a lot of stuff that kind of gets in the way. His hair, his backpack, the shoulder armor, the sash and fur all look great and certainly add to the character, but they do create a little bit of difficulty posing him. So I found that a bit frustrating. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at his weapons. He's got a great loadout. He's got this compound bow, and 3 of the arrows are fixed, and then there's 1 that you can slide out and pose. There's also this knife. I can't remember the name of that knife. It's a very unusual name, and it's an unusual knife. This is a bit hard to work with. It's kind of tough to really get the proper pose with compound bow. I will probably end up using some of my Marvel Legends bows with him that are a little bit easier to work with and photograph a little bit better. The backpack is a little weird. It ports a little weird, and it's sort of, the hair sort of gets in the way and creates a bit of an issue. There's one other part of the bow right here. I don't know if you can see that. And that goes on the front of the bow. I'm gonna pop that together so you can see what it looks like. All right, as you can see here, I got the compound bow in his hands. As you can see, there is one extra little piece there that clips onto that bow, and do pull that off before you attempt to port it back on his backpack, because you will break that little pin. Be very careful with that in general. There's a little slide for the arrow to port into. It's kind of tough to get it to really rest in there. It's a bit of a challenge. So it can be done, but I gotta say, they could have done a little bit better with the compound bow, made it a little bit easier to use. But it really looks great. It's a nice looking piece, and I think it'll photograph well in general. It's kind of tough to get that bow to stay in there, so that arrow to stay in there. So I tend to do more of a preparatory shot where he's getting ready to use the compound more so than actually using it. I like how they finally pulled out those flame details on Zartan's boots with some paint. I always like those details, and I was hoping that we'd see that painted at some point. So that looks really cool. He's got really, really great detailing, really great paint apps. I really like this necklace. In addition to Predator, kind of reminds me a little bit of Kamala, the Ugandan giant from wrestling, with some of these sort of tribal looking skull pieces and bone pieces. That brings Kamala to mind, as well as Predator. Let's give credit where credit is due. I think somebody was also digging on that cool entrance that Kamala used to do with the mask and the music. What a cool sight. I am going to give this guy about an 8 of 10, I would say. The weapons are a little bit, leave a little something to be desired, and I feel like the posability could be better. But I really like him. He's a new character. Well, he is about a 15-year-old character now, so he might almost be vintage now. But I really like him. I really like the additions of the new characters. They're really filling out the ranks, And it's neat to have another character who's more of an outdoor guy and strictly for outdoor type shots with Shadow Tracker. So I'm excited to get some more shots with him, and I thank you for watching. I hope you will subscribe, hit the like button, notifications, all that stuff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.